Today's grounding is focusing on the five senses and can be used in helping you find space and calm if you notice that your thoughts might be spiraling, or you notice that your body feels anxious, or it's also a way of helping you bring your body into being a bit more awake if you're noticing that maybe you're being in a moment of shutdown. So in this way of grounding yourselves, it's the technique called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'll guide you through this today. If on your own you choose to do this without the recording, you can do it in any order you like in terms of the five senses. So you're going to start off by taking a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth like a straw. You're going to be noticing and trying to fill up those lungs completely, and then emptying them completely. And as you're doing that, we can then start with 5. So this is going to be allowing you to orient yourself to the space. If we find that we have spiraling thoughts or that our body is feeling anxious, sometimes it's really helpful to do everything with our eyes open to let our body know that we're in a place where there's no danger. So we'll start off with 5 things that you see. So you're just going to let your eyes gently go around the room and just notice what kind of stands out. And you're going to pause on each one of those things. And you can describe them out loud, or you can describe them in your head. Just noticing 5 different items. And as you're doing that, you can also gently be moving your head. Sometimes our body can go into a bit of a freeze, so you might notice some stiffness. So I do encourage you, as you're doing this, noticing those 5 things, see if you can gently be turning your head as well. And just notice if that feels okay. As you're describing those things out loud to yourself, the color, the size, each of those things, make sure you keep doing your nice deep breaths in and out. And if you're not quite done, you can pause this recording until you are finished and then start on the next one. So now we're going to 4. Notice 4 things near where you are that you can touch. And as you're doing that, as you're selecting each item that you can touch, again, you can be describing out loud or in your head what each thing feels like. Whether it's smooth, what's the temperature, what does it feel like under your hand? Can you pick it up? Is it heavy? If you're struggling to notice what things are around you, or there's not too many items, even noticing what your clothes feel like on your body, or what the seat feels like under your body. And just slowly describing those things to yourself. And if you still need more time to do that, doing this nice and slowly, you can pause the recording until you're done. And then we're going to move on to 3 things that you can hear in this space. So really try and pay attention to the really small things that you can hear. Maybe it's the sound of a radiator, or the sound of someone in the house next door, or a truck that drives past. Try and notice the small sounds that you can really hear, rather than the obvious ones. Can you hear the sounds that aren't irritating? Sometimes if we're in a space where there's a lot of overwhelming sound, our body notices only those. So see if you could notice the small sounds, really paying attention. It can also be nice to do this with music. So really paying attention to all of the instruments that are present in the music, or paying attention to the lyrics that perhaps you haven't listened to closely before. So 3 things that you hear. And then we're going to move on to two things that you can smell. This one can be tricky sometimes. So really take your time, deep inhale, and see if you can notice any smells in your space. If you've got flowers or scented candles, you can move towards those or bring those close to you and notice what those smell like. Pleasant smells that you enjoy having around you. And then the last one that we're going to do is one thing that you taste. Do you taste the coffee from this morning? Do you taste something that you just ate? Something that you can also do with this is having savory flavors is really helpful. So if you have something that's salty, or if you have something that is sweet or sour, especially sour can really be helpful to really notice and bring that back to where you are. So thank you very much for joining us, and I look forward to working with you next time.